YouTube, GSmanimsmart. Today on a brand new video for tutorials with GS. Today's tutorial, we're here in Microsoft Excel, and we're going to show you how to use the Vlookup as well as the hlookup and the choose function in Excel, which are very useful if you have a large set of data, a large database, and you want to apply a certain value to a cell based on another value that you were given. So for example, if you have a huge list of names that were given to you and you have a GPA value, your job is to assign a grade. Instead of going through each grade and typing the actual grade in, instead of going cell by cell by cell by cell, you can actually do something called a Vlookup or a hlookup from another table to generate those values here. Now for 20 names it might not be a big deal, for 10 names it might not be a big deal, but if you have 200, 300 names here, then you don't want to sit there for 200, 300 names manually putting in a value. So what I have here on the right side is a grading scale, and what this is telling me that the minimum value from 0 to 0.9 of a GPA will give me an F, from 1 to 1.4 a D, 1.5 to 2.4 C, 2.5 3.4 B, 3.5 to 4A. And based off of these values here with a min and a max, now be aware you can do the V and H lookup with only one value. You don't need to have two values, but for us we're going to be using two values, so this is sort of like a range lookup, but you could do a single value lookup too. But for this range value, we're going to be looking at these, we're going to be looking at this range and then assigning a letter grade based off of the GPA column here. So how this works is you want to select your cell that you want to have the grade in. So we're going to go over here, then at the very top we're going to type in equals, and we're going to type in Vlookup. Now we're going to type in Vlookup because we have this in vertical form. As you can see, it's going up and down vertical. If you were to have something like this, if you have 0, 1, 2, 3, right, and then you have, for example, A, B, C, D, this would be a horizontal lookup. So here you would use hlookup. However, we have a vertical setup, so we're going to be using Vlookup. So back here, we're going to go up to our formula bar, type in Vlookup, parentheses, and the first thing we're going to enter is the value that we're going to be looking at to find a letter grade. So we're going to be looking at the GPA value, which starts at C2. So we're going to type in C2 and then a comma. Next, it's going to ask us, okay, once we have our GPA, where do you want us to look to find a value for that? Well, I want you to look at my grading scale table here. And my grading scale table starts at G3. So we're going to type $G, $3, and then a colon. And then where do you want it to end? I want it to end at I, and this is 7. So $I, $7, and then we're going to press comma. And then the next parameter is going to be, okay, once we have your GPA, once we've looked at this value, once we've compared this value to the range lookup here, what do you want us to print in the grade column? Well, I want you to print the grade column here, which is the third column within our range. So we're going to type in 3 because it's the third column within our range of columns that we specified. Then comma again, and we're going to type in true and parentheses, and we're going to press enter. And that didn't work because I did not put an equal sign. You want to make sure you put an equal sign in your formula bar here. There you go. So when we press enter here, as you can see, it's looked at 3.5 and it's matched it with the range of 3.5 to 4 is an A. Now if you want us to do this for all the other ones, you just copy the cell here and paste it down like so. And as you can see, it automatically looks up the GPA and matches it to where this fits into a range and looks up the grade for and prints the grade. So now if you have 200, 300 GPAs and students, you can very easily generate the grade for that just by doing a Vlookup or an hlookup. And you can very easily check this. As you can see, a 1.0 is a D, 1.0 is a D. If we look at 3.1, should be a B, and 3.1 is a B. So it does a very good job. Now the other thing you can do, for example, is if you want to use the choose function. And the choose function is sort of like the hlookup and the Vlookup. The only difference is you can put custom text in your formula bar up here to automatically fill in a column. So for example, say you have the same list of students here, but this time you have a test score between 1 to 3. And depending on their test score will determine which class placement they'll be in. So they can be in basic class, in advanced class, or in an expert class. Now, if you want to choose a specific class for these students based on a test score, what we can do is go to our column we want to, once again, instead of just going through each score and seeing, okay, you're 1, I'm going to type in basic, then paste basic, then paste basic, and then keep on typing advanced and expert. What you can do is go to the first column, then we're going to go over here to our formula bar, press equal, and type in choose, open parentheses, and the first parameter is going to be, okay, what are we looking at? We're looking at test score. So test score is going to be C27, comma, and then we're going to put in, okay, from our C27, the values we are looking at, what do you want us to match these values with? Well, if it's a 1, I want it to say, and make sure you put a quote, I want it to say basic, end quote. If it's a 2, I want it to say advanced, end quote. And if it's a 3, I want it to say expert, end quote, and end parentheses. So this is saying if it's a 1, put basic. If it's advanced, put 2. If it's a 2, put advanced. And if it's a 3, put expert. This is how you're reading this. And we're looking at test score. So if we press enter now, you'll see that based on the test score of 1, it's putting basic in. And once again, you can copy this and just paste it down here. And as you can see, for all of our 1 scores, we're getting basic, 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 basic. For all of our 2s, advanced, 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 advanced. And all of our 3s are getting expert and expert. So this is a great way to fill in a database, or to fill in some missing data if you were given a list of names or a set of data that you want to add information on based off of other information. You can very easily use Vlookup, hlookup, or a choose. There are some other things you can use, like a match, index. Those are functions as well. But I find Vlookup, hlookup, and choose to be the best options here. So go ahead and test it out in your own Excel spreadsheet, and I think you find it very useful if you do data entry things, and if you do work with lots of spreadsheets and lots of data like this where you have to fill in extra data. And formulas are very powerful in Excel. So if you liked the video, go ahead and leave a like. We'd really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Plenty of other Excel tutorials on our channel and plenty more to come as well. We also have tutorials on image editing, video editing, audio editing, all kinds of cool stuff. So I encourage you to subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, suggestions, feedback, leave in the comments section down below. I'll be down there answering any questions you have. And if you want to donate $1 to my Patreon page, you can do so as well. Click the card in the top right hand corner of the screen, will bring you to the page. And I also have a vlogging channel, gaming channel, advice channel, music channel. You want to check those out. Links are in the description as well as in the end screen. That's pretty much it. Thank you for watching as always. This is GSmanimsmart, and I'll be back sooner than you think. Don't go anywhere.